Sorry, let's try that again. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Headmaster's Homeroom. I am Lady Hamilton. Thank you for sharing and coming here tonight on your Friday night and being with me. It's so wonderful to be with you all. I hope you know that. Tonight, have got some really interesting view on some stuff and some wonderful artists to show you. And then we're going to talk about some fun, unique kind of Christmas or anniversary or whatever kind of gifts that you could do for a couple tonight. So, with that being said, welcome everyone. I am so happy that you're here, and I want to talk to you a little bit about some of my favorite art in the world, which is recycled material art. So, I can't remember when the first time I saw it, must have been at a university or when I was traveling abroad. I've seen it so much. I definitely saw it in South Africa and all over. I've seen different artists, being an artist myself, and I just absolutely fell in love with the fact of using materials that we consider trash and using them and repurposing to create some of the most beautiful artwork that I've seen. I hope you guys enjoy this as much. I have some videos that I'm going to show you of these artists. And I do want to tell you, of course, when you're talking about recycled anything, you're going to get every movement, including the climate change movement, grabbing onto these artists to definitely promote those kind of things. And that's, that's not the agenda I necessarily want to push. Although, with that being said, when you have and you do look into this, and I encourage you to Google this, look up like the island of tires or the island of computers. We do have a serious problem where we just dump our trash. There's a lot of trash that hits the oceans, a lot of trash that hits these islands. And there's really great things that you can do and our communities can even do. I even read an article once that I think that Germany is using recycled tires and they're chopping up into fine pieces and they're using them for their asphalt and their roads, which actually makes their roads stronger and last longer. Go figure. So, when we think of this beautiful earth that God created, right? I am one to say that I don't want to see it full of junk either. Right? Do I think this has effects on global warming or whatever? That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is why not be able to repurpose things that we just so throw away and turn them into such beauty, and also make us think about how much garbage or plastics or stuff that we're going through. And, what can we change? What can we repurpose? What can we do? I mean, you guys have seen me even on my Sunday shows, my scraps and everything go into compost, old paper and stuff like that goes into my compost, and then I can use it for my gardening, right? So there's a lot of things that we can repurpose and use them to do something else, something amazing, whether we're growing our own food or we're creating beautiful art or whatever you're doing. There's a lot of ways that, and I love the artists that do this and promote this. And there's a few that I really love. And I always do something with my students every year to create something out of recycled materials so that they can see, with what I call the artist's eye. When you look at a certain fixture or you see something, you're like, oh my gosh, it could look like this, or I could use this for this. Nobody says that you have to collect a whole bunch of junk, but just, you never know. And with Christmas again coming up, what an amazing idea to think about how you can find something, create something. And I've got wonderful pictures I'm going to show you here after I show you these artists of things that I've done in the past. I've given them away for presents. I make them for little kids. I really love working with recycled materials. In fact, even the pictures behind me, you'd have to say somewhat is recycled materials, because I find old newspaper articles that I can confirm to use for my back screens of my art, and images from magazines and stuff like that I go and I collage into my pieces before I even go and paint the actual picture above it. So, to some extent, they even have recycled, not even to some extent, to an extent, they have recycled materials in them as well. So, and I love, love, love cardboard, and with all the boxes and stuff that we get or deliveries that we get, it's such a great way to repurpose that and turn it into a toy or a gift for someone else, which I will show you guys later. So I hope you guys are excited to see, come on, computer, these wonderful artists. And let's get started. So I want to share the picture. Hold on one second. Let me load that up. I had a video up instead, and I wanted to, there we go. I'm getting better at this. I'm making PDFs and I'm videotaping things so I don't have to use YouTube as much, and we will be able to actually see these videos. So I'm getting better. I'm getting more tech savvy. I'm learning. So that's kind of fun. But I wanted to show you this because I collected 4 videos that I'm going to show you here soon, but I want to show you some of my favorite pieces from these artists. So I'm going to add this to the stream, and let's actually get to the top of this. Okay, sorry. First artist I have is Angela Pazzi. And I have a video. She's out of Oregon. She works with trash she finds on the ocean. And I just find it to bring awareness of all the trash that we leave on the ocean. And she creates these beautiful sea animals out of that. I hope everybody can see how gorgeous this fish is. It's just absolutely beautiful. She does several. She was in the Smithsonian. She created a whole ocean scene for there, and it was there for quite a while in DC. Just absolutely beautiful pieces of artwork. And again, these are made from the trash she finds on the ocean, on the beaches and things. And you guys will see her video here shortly. Another one of my favorite artists is Leo Soel. And I love this. This is the Statue of Liberty's arm. And it was made out of, I believe, all children's toys. And it is just remarkable. Remarkable. Look at that. Really, really beautiful. As you can see how large that is compared to the paintings behind it. Very large. But one of my favorites, I love boxers. I had boxers for the longest time. I don't anymore. I have a half boxer, but I just love the boxers that he made as well. And that's probably what grabbed my attention because I had several for a very long time. Just absolutely beautiful. All right, we have another one. His name is Thomas Dambo, and he creates out of old wood and recycled wood. He creates these very large forest giants. I mean, it is amazing how many he has. We have a video that will show you those as well. So you can play on them, you can walk on them, they're just absolutely charming. They're all over the world. I just think it's absolutely unique, interesting, something I had never seen before. My students really like this one as well. There's several, but these are just some that I keep to show them. This is Brian Mock. He is a metal artist, and he creates these beautiful animals all out of metal, different parts and tools. And so if you know me on Truth and you see how much I love the recycled materials artists, even in our group, it's just because I have a soft spot for it. I love to be able to repurpose something. And, I would have never thought of putting metal together to create sculptures. You see this now. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. And I hope you guys think so too. I have some videos here I'm going to load up so you can see that as well. And let me remove this. All right. So let's get to it. I believe our first one is from Oregon, and I hope you enjoy her work.
I spent all my summers of my childhood at the ocean. The ocean was everything to me. So at age 47, I found myself a widow.
Come on, play. Okay, let me try that again. And I recorded these ones so that I wouldn't have to use YouTube. I'm sorry. Let's hope they play. Really? Okay, give me 1 second. Let me stop sharing and try this again, everyone. Sorry. Right? I did this to avoid YouTube, so let's try it again. Okay, I'm gonna try to remove it from the studio and upload it again. And we'll see if we can get this done this way. I don't know. I might have to go to YouTube and see if they'll let me do this. All right. I'm trying to reload it again. Hopefully it will go through. Everyone just give me a little patience. I don't know why that's not working. Let's try it. It worked so beautifully earlier when I tried this. All right, here we go.
I spent all my summers of my childhood at the ocean. The ocean was everything to me. So at age 47, I found myself a widow. My whole world stopped. The only way I'm going to heal is to go to the ocean. I started walking the beaches every day. I took my dog to the beach and I was like, I'm all about finding the beauty. I just want to see the beauty. And I kept stepping over garbage. That was how it started. It was from the heart, that's why I think we're doing well. I really believe that.
Okay, so those are freezing up on me. Give me a second. Let's see if we have any love from YouTube. Maybe I could play it that way. So give me 1 second. Oh, mercy. Guys, I'll tell you, if it's not one thing, it's another. So let's see. All right, we're going to try and see what we can get from YouTube. And maybe, just maybe, they'll let us play it. All right. Stream. I'll tell you, it's always one thing or another, huh? Okay, so let's try it. Let's hope for the best. And we're going to see here.
Or even this. But if you're artist Angela Hazeltine Pozzi, you can turn pretend into this.
He is becoming our mascot. He's almost becoming our logo of the Wash to Shore project.
To Shore is a community project Hazeltine Pozzi started in coastal Oregon town. The organization strives to educate and create awareness about plastic pollution through art.
We don't cut up everything into beautiful little tiny pieces where you can't see where it came from. This is the stuff, just the tell that that's a box. sea jellies in the ocean are looking just like plastic bags to turtles. And turtles,
They also look
Dr. Brian Joseph, the executive director of the Living Coast Discovery Center.
I was overwhelmed and touched. It was very understandable by children. It's something that they can touch, everyday objects, colorful things out of the for children.
Connect to Canadian short that message on
I'll tell you what, it definitely does not want me to share this. So it is gonna give me fits today. And I apologize for that. I hope everybody, you guys are watching. Say your prayers. I know you guys are watching. Okay, so I can try that again. Let's see if I can present one of my videos that I made. Oh, I hope that it's just not going to give me fits. All right, I want to do, let's see, I want to do this one. Let's see if I can play another video. So we're going to try this again. And hopefully it won't kick me out this time. It literally kicked me right out of the whole stage and everything. I'll tell you guys got to pray for YouTube like I do. All right, let's see if this will work. All right, so you guys are going to think I'm going to have to post these. Excuse me. I'm going to have to post these a different way because that's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy that it won't let me share even my own videos that I made for everybody to watch. So I don't know. That is crazy. All right, so let me show this. I know I can show you. And then we're just going to get on to, let me get this back here. And I'll put in the permanent chats for everybody. Let's look at these artists again. This I know I can show you because it's a PDF. I don't know what the heck. If they just hate me, I guess that's fine. All right. Here we go. So these artists, like I said, just have done such a wonderful job of finding recycled materials. I'm going to show them to you again. And this is what I was trying to show you a video of with Angela Pazzi's. She goes to the beach and she finds all kinds of different unique things that people have just left there at trash. I mean, and she just puts them together. She was, like I said, at the Smithsonian doing a huge exhibit. I mean, it was like a huge room and the whole room was like an ocean. And she had all kinds of things from jellyfish in there too, turtles in there. I mean, she does the research on here to make sure that she's adequately showing you the colors, their habitat, and it's absolutely just phenomenal. I love it too. When I do my artwork, I do a huge amount of research in mine too, especially on mistakes, because I do not want to be promoting something that is a narrative that's not correct or 100%, on point. But I just am blown away at the collections that she finds. She did say this in her video, that sometimes it's really hard to create an animal of certain color. I can just see this with the swordfish. She has to save the materials for a certain amount of time until she gets like enough blue or enough red, and so she's got bins in her studio or warehouse or wherever she's creating these. And so she's got to think about, what animal can I do to bring awareness, because I may not have enough of this color, as she's planning them out. But this is just absolutely, like I said, absolutely beautiful art. And then again, I know this from watching one of these videos, so I'm going to have to post these from YouTube because they want to hate me today. But I love the video on this one with the Statue of Liberty arm. And I really wanted to show you that today, because this was all made out of kids' toys and things. And I am just floored of not only the size of this, I love that it's about liberty and it's, about our country. He does multiple other ones, it's, I can see lots of different animals. He does cityscapes, and he uses all kinds of things from like rulers or projectors or old game boards and pieces and stuff to create some really beautiful, unique things. And so, like I said, I will include their links of where to find them. And then again, I love this dog. He's got two versions of the boxer, one in all metal and then one in all plastic. I really kind of like the bronze metal one. That's just my personal choice, but just amazing. In their work, their uniqueness, and these are some of the founders, by the way, that I'm showing you too. If there's such a thing as founders, this movement kind of got started in the 60s and the 70s, but these guys are really kind of the forefront that brought my attention to this decades ago. And now there's a lot of artists that do this. You can see this in your town. Even my own zoo, I saw this, where they have a little art movement here, and they have like turtles and butterflies and everything that were created as recycled material objects out of bottle caps or plastic. In fact, when I was working in Arizona, one of the things I got recognized for before I went to grad school is I opened up a program called Servicio, where I was helping their youth find ways to go to college or pathways forward. And we worked in the community gardens, where the landscaper, the head gardener, had taught us how to make toys out of recycled materials, and benches out of using plastic bottles, just filling them with different kinds of paper and trash that we'd find and stuffing them real tight, and then making actual benches that people could sit on. So I found that just absolutely amazing and interesting in its own right. I do have a soft spot for Thomas Dambo too. I just love the uniqueness of this, that he's found, a pallet wood and trees that have been cut down, branches that have been cut down to just create these beautiful giants that he's put in. I believe there's maybe over 100 of these already now. He's working with other artists. The video I wanted to show you, he's working out of Seattle with the Native Americans there. And he's got one that's looking out towards the sea. And some of the head artists from the Native American community came and made the flute that went with the giant. They made seashell necklaces and bracelets to put on the giant, and just really kind of give it its blessing, as it, not only included their tribes, but it also, is just a really beautiful, like I said, gentle giant that laid right there on the side of the ocean. Really unique. And most of this, like he said, he says in the video, is made out of like old wood, like I said, found wood, dead wood, pallets, just whatever he can find and reclaim and turn into these beautiful pieces of artwork. And then again, mock. one of the beginnings, and we see a lot of people working with metal now. If I had a welder, I don't know, this might be something I would really get into, but I took a welding class. I loved it when I was in college, but how unique to be able to take these old car parts or, inner workings of stuff and to be able to create statues and just absolutely beautiful. There is a tiger. I'm going to have to look up because that was the one, lion. That was the one I was going to show you. Let's see if I can look this up while we're talking here. I'll show you this video of him, and he's actually in his studio making these, but I love his lion. It is one of my favorites, and since it was on the video, I was not going to show you, but hopefully I can show you now. All right. Oh, the bear is really great too. So let's see. Let's see if they let me. And I'm going to remove that from the studio. I'm going to remove that from the studio. Stop screen. Okay. And then I want to share this one. Come on. Yes. So you can see there's some other work that he has done from all different kinds of animals, from dogs to bears to lions, using like silverware. I'm like, wow. And I have seen so many different metal artists too that are doing that just absolutely, it's amazing. It's amazing what these artists see. It's amazing how these artists can look at something and say, it's almost like cloudscaping, where you look at the clouds and you're like, oh, I see a rabbit, or I see what. They look at, these materials and say, what can I create with this? What, does this look like for me? And I love, I call it the artist's eye, is what I tell my students. I want to help you develop the artist's eye. So I have another one to show you. It is, let me stop the screen there. I love this one too. So it's cardboard. I had another video I was going to show you about cardboard artists. And we're just going to go with it, guys. It doesn't want me to show you the thing. Heavens, I made PDFs. I love cardboard. Cardboard is one of the most easily found materials. Like I said, we get it delivered to our house. If you're an Amazon shopper, you're getting it delivered to your house. We have cardboard. And what do we do with all these boxes? And like I said, I have 3 or 4 things I'm going to show you tonight about how much I love cardboard. But it is cheap. It can be molded. It can be turned into so many great things. I have 4 artists I'm going to show you here that have done some amazing work with cardboard. Let's add this to the stage. Here. It's absolutely extraordinary. Look at these people. These are made with cardboard. I mean, just even the expressions on their face, their hair, their clothes. You're like, oh my gosh, what in the world, right? This is Warren King. And look at this. Look at this. I mean, just, right? Their age, their shape. I mean, he's literally built and turned them, into full size. These are not, small little things either. They're very full-sized actual people. Even the chairs they're sitting on are made out of cardboard. And I just find it, absolutely inspiring and beautiful to take such a simple material and turn it into something so beautiful. Look at this family. And you can see how large they are when you look at them up against the closet. And they all have different expressions on their face, the different clothing that they wear. I'm sure he's used photos from his family to be able to turn this, or into people he knows, I don't know, models, whatever, to turn them in. Are they full-sized humans? Probably not, but they're pretty close. And like I said, the details are just astonishing. So this is one, like I said, look at what you can do with cardboard, everyone. Another one is Dylan Shields. Now this is really intricate. This is Isaiah, right? Or Isaac, Abraham and Isaac, right? So the sacrifice of Isaac. This is a famous sculpture that actually exists. And this artist was able to take cardboard, Dylan Shields, again, is the same, able to take cardboard and mimic this same exact sculpture using cardboard. I don't know if you guys can see this well. I hope that you can, but isn't that just astonishing? The detail that you can get out of here. I mean, wow. Wow. And then you can see that, just absolutely beautiful. All right, Chris Gilmore, making vehicles. Look at this, right? Again, made with cardboard. Every single detail in here is made with cardboard from these artists. And I just am floored. I love it. I love the use of cardboard. And wait till you see the motorcycle or the moped, right? You almost even it just looks so real. It just is phenomenal. And sometimes I think it's easier to make something bigger. When I see when people make stuff really miniature, I always envy them, by the way. My artwork is really large, but to do such intricate detail, really, really small, you need a very, very steady hand. And so I give kudos to this, the artists as well. Oh, here's the bicycle. Sorry, I forgot there's one more. Look at these beautiful, all made out of cardboard. And they look so real and so detailed. All right. Anastasia Elias. These are toilet paper rolls. Who would ever thought that you could make a huge scene? And I collect toilet paper rolls. I mean, I don't have but I do have a box of them, because whenever I'm making recycled material artwork myself, they're so versatile, and they help so much. And there's a way that you can cut them and shape them for like eyes, or whatever you need is round, to put something round onto something flat. I mean, they just work so well. They're really thin, so you can use them for all different kinds of things. But an intricate scene like this, it's absolutely amazing to me how awesome this would be. I mean, the kids would love it. Anybody, I think, would really love that. If you could do something like that and make a really nice little scene, the light, the way that it reflects onto that. And I'm going to show you the individual ones here that she's got. Look at this. Isn't that just something? And she creates these little scenes inside these toilet paper rolls. Right? Really fun, really unique. And I don't know if you guys are loving this or not. I think that it's at least it's inspiring to me. And I love to celebrate artists that are really crafty, unique. And again, the repurposing things that we would just normally throw away. And, even if, like you said, I make some for children, and I'm sure that it probably gets thrown away. In fact, I know one it got ruined. But you know what? It was going to pretty much go into the garbage anyway at some point. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Again, in my permanent chats, I will put some YouTube links down so you can go and view the stories of these artists. And again, I am so sorry that it does not want to play for me today. I mean, like I said, I even made these videos, even tested them out beforehand, and I don't know what, and even said prayers before I started. So I apologize that is not going to happen. So, but let me show you some of the things I have made. One that I'm working on right now, and I made this actually for a coworker how many years back. She loved owls. I have another person who loves owls. And they're so fun to make. So I'm working on another one, and I look at certain boxes like, oh my gosh, that would be really great for this or really great for that. The one I made on a lion, too, when I pulled out an insert from the box, it almost had this square shape, and it looked like the snout, of the lion, right? The mouth of a lion. So I was like, oh my gosh. And so they just speak to me. So this is what I'm working on right now, which is my recycled material owl You can see that I've made everything out of cardboard, the nose, the ears, the wings. And I have found like lids. These are like from orange juice, water bottles, soda bottles to make the eyes, as you can see. I make the feathers out of paper, old wrapping paper or construction paper, things like that. And I put all this together first, right? And then I work to design it as I go, looking for different things that I can add on to here and add on to the wings and whatever to create these beautiful little animals. And children love them. The adults I made it for, she loved them. When she opened that, she could not believe it. And I always leave them so that they have an ability to be open and used if they want to put something in them or store them. I try to leave sometimes an opening so that you never know. Maybe this could be used as some kind of save box or jewelry box, or who knows what the purpose is. But this is the beginning of working on recycled material at our school again. And it's the beginning of my new owl. And so you can see it's quite large because I'm holding it up towards me. And I love, like I said, love to work with cardboard. I do not save a ton of junk. But I do love going to thrift stores. And I told you guys on Sunday, I find boxes of just ribbon or yarn or paper or whatever that people have just not finished a roll on, or they throw out, ribbon that might have just a little bit left or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I score. So I find all kinds of like little beads and baubles and bows and things like that. And I use them and I glue them and stuff. And so I've made a few different things. I've made an octopus for somebody, and the legs were all made out of toilet paper rolls. I will have to look for a picture of that. I hooked them together so they'd be the tentacles, of the octopus. And it was just really amazing. So I do have some pictures here. I'll show you of the ones that I have made as gifts. And this is the lion. So let me come back to here and show you my lion. Let me add that to the stage. That is my lion. The curly cues are made out of toilet paper rolls. The only thing on there that's not something that's found or repurposed or whatever, the eyes, the bobble eyes. I don't often add the bobble eyes, but it was kind of fun. And again, the bells, there's bells on this. Like I said, his jaw and everything was an insert from a box. So I pulled it out, had a little, I can't remember what was inside there, but it had a jar, and the jar was being secured by this little section. But when I pulled it out, I was like, that really looks like a mouth. And so I saved that insert and turned it into a lion for a little kid so that they could rattle it. There's bells on it, so it jingles. Again, I put the googly eyes on there again because it was made for a child. And just little scraps, even, that I found that was a little piece of material underneath them for the, like where he's sitting on, like the fur. And it just, I just go for it to make these kind of things, using felt for his skin and stuff behind it. And like I said, I find these little things left and right, save them, the beads, somebody you might find a bag of beads somewhere, and you just go with it. Sorry, everyone. I have my throat. All right, this is for a birthday. And I made a cupcake. And again, just out of different paper, there's a box behind it. I made this is a piñata, to believe it or not. So inside, I was able to put candy and stuff like that, knowing that they were going to break it for a birthday, and was able to take tissue paper and regular paper and just literally fold it to the point where it made the cupcake bottom, the tissue paper around it for the frosting, throw a few of those little fuzzy balls on and glue them on, and I have made myself a cupcake piñata. You could do this for like a Christmas. You could do this for a birthday. Just so many unique ways ways to recreate something. And especially if if you're an artist and you want to do this permanently, but one of the things I like using cardboard for is, again, it's most likely going to get thrown away or whatever anyway. So why not turn it into something happy, especially for a child? And this one I think I've told you guys about before, but this was a gingerbread house. This was made out of a refrigerator box. And as you can see, I even found, and that's not, the windows were made out of a box. I had a box that had these individual little squares in them that would hold like crayons or whatever, they were all this, when I order like oil pastels or crayons for the school, they'll have like an insert in them and all the crayons don't come like a Crayola set. They'll come like, all the reds are in one section, oranges, whatever. And I divide them up and whatever, and send them off that way with all kinds of supplies. It's easier to do that. So they had this beautiful little insert that I was able to make the windows out of, and also the little planters in front of them. This box, again, I left open so she could play with her dolls in it, but it's done all the way around. Even the white paper was cut from cardboard. I painted that. I found a clear spray. That's one of the things I guess I did buy because I wanted to have kind of this glittery kind of effect to it. No, actually, I didn't. I had bought it, but I had still had it. And it was like for Halloween for my kids from like a year or two prior. That was something that you spray in their hair, that sparkles. And I guess sometimes you can get different colors, but this was a clear. So I was able to spray it on there to give the snow a little bit of a glittery effect. But yeah, everything's on here from buttons to old beads to, make the candy canes, the candy, everything. The flowers were made out of old buttons. And then how I did the brick is I taped it. I did the white, and then I taped it where I didn't want it to be taped. I was able to paint the brown on top of it and then just pull the tape off to create this little brick effect for it. And so you can see, and like I said, I know this one got ruined because she fell on it and tumbled it. She had it for a good while, everyone, from what I was being told. But after a few months, I guess she had actually fell on it and it kind of crashed in, and Grandma had to throw it away. She felt so terrible about that. But this was, again, just made out of an old, refrigerator box. And I looked at that thing, and the way the arms were for the inside were quite long, which is unusual for, usually they just flap over each other. But for some reason, they were very long and they went completely over each other. Instead of just meeting in the middle, they doubled up like this. And I was like, this would be a great roof. And it kind of gave me the inspiration. I was like, okay, and I have a, wonderful little girl I know that would love to have a little dollhouse, gingerbread house for Christmas. And so this is why I say I love boxes, everyone. I love to be able to do this, repurpose this, and, make someone else's little day. It was a lot of fun. So I have to think about what I'm going to make, this year. If I'm making the owl for another friend. So we'll see, but I might have to make something again as I have some sweet neighbors that have little kids, and maybe I will do this again for Christmas. And it was just really fun. All right. So with that being said, it's a great time to talk about our sponsors as we take a break and I get ready for our second part, because we're going to talk about date ideas and things like that I have some fun things coming up here and some more ideas for you guys to do for couples. So, but this would not have the show without my wonderful sponsors and my wonderful producer. So thank you so much for that. It's a great way and a great idea to help somebody else out, especially if you're looking for a beautiful, unique gift. There could be nothing better than honey. You guys know how much I love honey. I love my local honey. I love being Nourished because it is truly some of the best honey I've tasted. And they have the ones with different flavors, just so you guys know. I show you these because I want you to know, they're not full bottles. And there's a reason I show you that. It's because I actually do use them. I use them when we cook on Sundays. I use them. That's the turmeric. Look at this beautiful gold color, right? and let that slip what I was going to get for my dad. They're beautiful raw honey, right? And I love this one too. I have the organic dragon fruit are the 3 that I have left, and I don't have very much of those. But look at this beautiful, beautiful colors. Look at this. And you can probably see that I love the turmeric one. And it's not that it's better than the rest of them. It just, for me, I love it for inflammation. Not only does honey fight off inflammation, so does turmeric. And I think I've told you guys my story before. When I was fighting off these kind of illnesses and stuff, one of my biggest problems was inflammation. And both of these together is like a jam-packed vitamin that really, really helps with that. And eating the local food is a really, like I said, another savior to me. Besides the savior, nothing would be possible without God. But this is an amazing thing, and we are giving 22% off. So that's one of our sponsors tonight. So let's go and introduce you to our wonderful Be Nourished. Let me get that up here.
Honey. It's one of the greatest gifts to man. With millions of wildflowers in every bottle, the nourishing power of honey is still yet to be fully discovered. Be Nourished Healing Products combines healing ingredients from around the planet to the purest honey from the island of Maui to bring magic to your taste buds. The best honey from the most beautiful place to nourish your body, mind, and soul. From our hearts to yours, be nourished.
All right. And you guys know how much I love having a school. I do this, the reason we call this Headmaster's Homeroom is that's exactly who I am. Most of the time, most of my days, I am running HamiltonLiberty Academy. That is my main job. Whether it's one student or a million students, it's so much about our youth right now and making sure that we do everything that we can to not only give them the foundations of reading and writing arithmetic, but actually bringing history back, bringing economics back, civics back, reading the Declaration of Independence, understanding the actual, histories, what our forefathers made for us, giving them, does everything in our country have we done everything beautifully? We're looking at a mess right now. Right. So no, we don't. Well, I don't hide that from them either, but we have so many different wonderful things to be teaching our youth. And I am learning how much we're actually holding them back and how much we don't promote that they are possible, how we don't, give them the from the word go. Especially as I'm noticing our second graders. My second graders, I have one that keeps telling me, does it have to be perfect? They use that word a lot. Does it have to be perfect? I said, never have I said it has to be perfect. What do I always say? And they say that you need to try your best. I go, that's right. You need to try your best. I personally love failure to a certain extent, right? I don't like, if you keep on doing, then I've got a problem here too. But I've seen kids that work their rears off to create a science experiment. They've done everything in their power. They go to have a presentation like I tried today, right, to show you videos or whatever, and everything just fails. And I just smile and I'm like, oh, that didn't work out, right? You failed. And I go, so what are you going to do to make it work? And that's the thing. Pick yourself back up. How are we going to figure it out? How are we going to make this work? That's what I mean by failure, right? Is what did we learn? And then how are we going to make it right? So, I always say to my little ones, that I'm teaching, I was like, I didn't ask you for anything perfect. And you're not going to fail this. We're going to work on this together because we are going to find a way. I turn things into and say, okay, if you don't do this, I'm going to send a whole bunch of homework on which we don't do homework. I'm not going to sit there and say, you're going to sit there until you've done your math. No, it's a math party. Instead of giving worksheets, which we're a virtual school anyway, right? I'm like, we're going to do this on the board together. We're going to use colors to help you retain this and memorize this. We're going to create animals out of geometric shapes, and and learn about not only our shapes and measuring whatever. We're going to create different kinds of things. For Halloween, we did monsters and aliens, for them to understand and work on their fine motor skills, but also to be able to understand their shapes and to have that artist's eye. How's that go together, right? And to show them that they're possible. Keep telling them they're possible. And giving them the pathways to go forward to be possible. Where I get kids that are just lighting up like crazy. So I have to say that most of my time I'm running and teaching. And I don't know if you guys know how many headmasters are out there teaching, which they should be, I think. At least one class, you need to be in touch with your students. But this is what I do. And I love it. And in return, my kids, are so full of life and so full of promise. And I'm really thrilled to be part of that. And I love it that they make our commercials too. So, if another way, if you guys ever want to do something and donate to some wonderful families and youth out there, we would love it. So this is our other sponsor, Hamilton Liberty Academy. You did just a great job on that. I think she did a great job on that. Okay, so with that being said, I also have a surprise. I've mentioned this last Friday as well, as I am really truly grateful. I love my little family, friends on True Social, and I love my guests that come on. And sometimes I don't have guests because things come up, and we had a situation, so this is why we came up with this today. But I try to at least do my part to some extent to support them as they are trying to support me, or they come onto the show. And that's the whole reason I have a show, is to be able to show you who they are, that we're not alone. We're going to open these businesses. We're going to do these certain things. And can I afford to support everyone? No, I really wish I had the money to do that. But I do try, right? And I encourage you to go and search out other people in our little communities, find stuff to buy instead of that's unique. That's not just Amazon or Walmart. And I understand that, sometimes it's cheaper or more convenient, but I'm telling you, you get so happy supporting each other. And some of the best things, I had an episode with Siberian Kitten where she literally custom made a hoodie for my daughter who pretty much lives in it, right? That's about ready to go off to college here soon. And I know that she's going to be living in that. And I wanted her to have something. Her favorite dog, which she's not taking with her because she's actually our dog, right? But I know she's going to miss her. And that's been one of her friends since the world, word go. We found that dog just wandering on her birthday as a puppy, and they just had a really great relationship, I guess about 10 or so years ago. So this dog's very special to her. And to be able to have something custom made that she could take with her. Different kinds of books, I love it. And I try to order some different books. And guess what came today? So if you're watching, Ray, and I'll make sure I post you in True Social, and he's been on our show here, everyone. Look at this, what came today. This is Ray's book, The Fish and the Snake. I mean, it is, and I know I've read this before because he sent me like a PDF of the thing, but I was like, I really wanted this book for my library for school, something I could read to our children, and one of my little second graders, like I said, she just lost her grandfather a few weeks ago. So her mind is completely on God and death and things like that. And she's all good about it. She knows that her grandpa Bill is in heaven and that God's got him. And she's writing her own book on God. And she asked if she could do that on the side. This is a second grader. Can I write a book? She has written the book. She has designed the pages and did all the illustrations for it. And I am thrilled to be able to help her create this book as a gift to her family for Christmas. That's what she wanted to do. So to be able to read with them, which we do, we read every single day tons of books, 4 to 5 books at least a day, whether they're reading them or reading them to them. But I'm so excited this came in today. So thank you so much. And I encourage you guys, I'll be sharing this again on Truth. This is a fabulous book. Illustrations are not Ray's, but he has been really particular about them. He said when he was here, I mean, they are just beautiful, made for children. The paper, he did talk about that the paper and the design behind the words, he was really adamant about creating this texture, which you can see so well. It's a great story of God and the Savior, but through kind of a wizardy, kind of way. So they call him the Great Wizard, but I love it. And each chapter is just, it relates to the Savior's life and the creation of our world. And it's just absolutely fabulous. So again, here's another. I'm sorry if there's a glare on here, everyone. Just showing you again, The Fish and the Snake. And this is by Ray Lizardo. It's an fabulous read, a great way to buy something for your children or your family. Even though it's made for children, I love it. I loved reading it, and I will love reading it to my students. I was so excited to see that in the mail today. And then gifts for you guys. I showed you last week the books that you want to take out of the curriculum, which blew me away, right? Like Little House on the Prairie, and they wanted to take out, I can't think of The Great Gatsby. I mean, I'm just trying to think of all these other ones. It's almost like they want to take out Peter Rabbit. I mean, it's like everything that would make a really good curriculum. And I probably could show you that picture again and look it up. And I know I've shared it on my socials. But I was like, that would have been a great ELA. Ayn Rand, for sure, is one that's like, she's out. And Ayn Rand is one of my favorites. And it's not just the stories she writes, it's the creative writing skills she has. Each chapter, when you go and start at the beginning of the chapter, it's so detailed that you feel like you're literally walking into the scene, like you're part of this, almost like it was a virtual world around you. It's written so well. And that's definitely off We the Living. The other ones are great too, but she's just a really great descriptive writer. So I do have extra ones of these, and we do read these at our school. So gifts for my followers, I have a few of them. So grab them while you can. Reach out to me on True Social at Lady Hamilton Art. You can reach out to me on Twitter at Lady Hamilton AR1. You can put it in a permanent chat here, but I have a few of these to give away. So that means like a couple of these each. And so I have 3 different books from Ayn Rand. We have We the Living, right? We have Atlas Shrugged. If you've not seen that, that one's also a movie. The only thing different about this movie is the actors change each there's like part 1, part 2, and part 3. That was a little unique to get used to, but it's also a really great read. I always think the books are better than the movies, right? They leave out so much, but that's, boy, talk about creating a different society somewhere else. I'm like, that's interesting. And then The Fountainhead. So I have, like I said, a couple of each of these, and that's my gift to you guys for being such wonderful followers and viewers and friends. I really appreciate it. And another person I love to support, and we've got it this year to read to our students, and the students think this should totally be a movie. The high school students love this book so much. I had no idea that he was also an author, but it is really a unique and well-written book. And that goes out to Cat Turd for Rabbit Skin. So I have a few extra of these. Guys, it's very unique. And I don't want to tell you about him. I don't want to blow it for you. But if you've read this, you'll be like, and I believe he's writing another one, a second book to this, Rabbit Skin. I know he has others, but I have a couple of these that I would like to give away to. So make sure that you reach out to me before they're gone. And they're a wonderful read, or they'd be a really great Christmas gift to maybe somebody that you know that would love it. Let me reach out. You can reach out to me, like I said, True Social, Lady Hamilton Art, Twitter, Lady Hamilton AR1. Our permanent chat right here is another thing too, but let me know right away so we can get those out to you for Christmas. And again, that's a huge thank you so much for following me and being a part of my little world here. All right, so I need to get onto this too, because every Friday, let me get this up. Every Friday we have an artist, and I know that I've said that artist of the week, and I want to make sure that we celebrate that. So get that up so we can find it. Get that very good. And we're going to share that. I love it. Our Artist Corner Artist of the Week. Just getting that loaded up here. Thank you so much. If you guys don't know, True Social, I love True Social for so many things, but the groups are great. And I have a group, and it's called Artist Corner. I want you guys to go check it out. If you aren't part of it, please join it. I would love it. I love to see artists from all different genres, whether you're a painter or a singer, whether you're a poet or you have some kind of business that's in the arts, digital arts, or I've seen tool makers that are making stuff from scratch. Love them. Again, recycle material. Artists as well. I mean, it's just so fun. Even if you're not an artist, just to get that cleansing and looking at something beautiful every single day makes my world. So I love it. Between me and my fellow moderator, Ray, thanks you. He helps me out so much. We promote an artist every single day. And then you guys, depending on your shares, right, your likes, your shares, and your comments, we have a little point system, and that's how we choose the artist of the week. Whatever gets the most points, that's our artist of the week. And so I love to be able to help promote you. I love it when you guys come on my show as well too. Anything we can do to help bring you some exposure to your wonderful creations and talents. And again, that's the first thing I get up at. Well, it's not the first thing I do, but if I'm on my social media, that's the first thing I go to is my group, to look at all these different wonderful artists and what they share. So I encourage you to find this. It's called the Artist Corner. And our artist of the week is Martin Easley. And this was on Halloween. I believe that he posted this, and just kind of the clown world is what I'm thinking of when I think of this. And I really love it. It was so fitting for the day and for the week, especially with Halloween. So amazing job, Martin Easley. I think this is absolutely phenomenal. Good work. He's got some other things too that are quite unique. He's got some pieces he's done with some vegetables. I mean, really unique artists, and I love it. And I'm finding out that these artists too, like Martin, have multiple different venues, right? They're not just a painter. They might be a sculptor, or and I just love it. So huge kudos out to you and congratulations, Martin. So everybody go give him a huge hand and tell him congratulations. You are our artist of the week, and great job. Great job on that. All right. So just kind of checking to see if I'm saying hi to anybody who is here. All right. All right, everyone, date ideas. Now, you guys probably, I don't know, maybe you think I'm like, does this girl never get out? So here's the thing. When you're older and you don't have kids anymore, right? And you're like, I'm tired of going to, restaurants I really can't go to per se. Because again, I told you, I've said this before, and if you're new to the show, a few years back in 2020, I was literally paralyzed and I could not even walk. I had jaundice everywhere. I was sick, and the doctors basically were telling me I was going to die with a perfect health. Imagine that. All my tests come back, and I just had blood work done again to perfect health, right? But I did have jaundice. I was yellow everywhere. My legs were not working. I couldn't even hold myself up. The pain was so severe. And their answer was to basically take 10 different kind of pills and just wait to die. And I know this kind of rush version of that, but it's true. And so I was making a crazy little thing, and my husband and I were going to go for a drive. It was during COVID, so there's not much you could have done anyway. And just really fell in love with this little town that we lived in now. It was very much in the area that we moved to now, but that really kind of wasn't on my mind. But it's the first time I'd seen this area. And we just jumped in the car and went on a drive. And so when we made this crazy little checklist, like if I could have everything I wanted, what would that be? And you guys would think of like a mansion and I want a, a house and a yacht. I'm not that kind of person, right? I want a couple acres. I want to be able to have a garden. I want my animals to be able to run. I like to have a nice home that's kind of unique and custom made, per se. I would love to have great neighbors. That was on the list. I like to be surrounded with a community that feels like the way I do, that really loves the community. And it's almost like everything got checked off that list. And there was local food too. And that's what saved me is not only God. Okay, first of all, God saved me, right? But the local food. My husband wanted to detox me and thank heavens he's a nurse. He's like, let's see if we can just detox you out off all these medicines and get you eating healthier without, even the organic food at the grocery store that gets sprayed. We're reading articles with Appeal now even being, Bill Gates with his chemically induced sprays, even on the organic foods, to make them look like they're great, to make them travel. And I get that to some extent. They travel, but the chemicals is what my body's having problems with. I cannot deal with that. So I noticed that even going out to dinner has turned into a nightmare for me, because if I eat this food, like the next day, I can feel my body, I can feel the inflammation. I can feel my fingers swelling up. So it gets really difficult for me to go, okay, so what are we going to do? And the movies, I mean, forget it. There's been a few movies I've seen. I think Sound of Freedom was like the first movie I've seen in years, right? And it's just like junk. I you don't have kids, which I don't know if I'd take them to some of these movies anymore, but when you don't have little kids anymore, you don't go see cartoons, or you don't, go to certain little parties or festivals because they're for kids. And so it's not that I'm pathetic and we don't have date ideas. It's just like, what is unique? What can we do that's different? And so I look up these ideas because we're like, all right, it's, an hour drive to a big city, or it's expensive. I don't want to go spend hundreds of dollars, on a date anymore. But what can we do that's unique? So I looked up these things and I'm going to share the list with you. We're going to read it. And I gave my husband a list, and we highlighted ones, and then we shared which ones did we have in common that we thought were fun. You can find books like this. I bought a book to make a scrapbook kind of this. I thought, how neat would it be? And you can get empty books. How unique would it be if you chose some fun dates and made like a little book, 12 to 24 of these dates, and gave it to your spouse as a gift? Like, this would be a year of dates I would like to do with you. You could take pictures and stuff on these wonderful dates. I thought this would be a really fun Christmas idea, anniversary idea, birthday idea, but a unique gift idea. And I'm always looking for something unique to give to my husband for Christmas or our holiday. In fact, our anniversary falls a couple weeks after Christmas, so I usually kind of plan that. One of the ways we enjoy the holiday is, I think about 5 or 6 years ago, I started this game where we would pick names and words that had to do with Christmas. And we cut them up, and we had to make sure they were all the same amount. So whether they were 4-lettered words or 5-letter words, all the words that we chose that went with Christmas were the same amount. And then we choose our colors. We just put every color that we could think of into hats, 2 separate hats. And we pull one out, and then we pull a color out. And so the game is, like last year was Christ. It's the name that we chose. And the color was green. So then we had to find each other gifts, and you could set a limit, like you can't spend any more than $10 or $20 on each gift, right? Or whatever, set your own limits. And so then you would have to choose a gift that started with C, a gift that started with H, a gift that started with R, I, S, and T, and they all had to be somewhat green. So let's just, for instance, I found a restaurant that was called the Green Goat last year. See, that was my R. He had like farm to table kind of restaurant, and I loved it. It was called the Green Goat, and so that there you go. See, how it goes that way. Or this year, the word is Psalm, And again, with the color green. So obviously I need a lot of green in my life, right? I kind of find that funny. Um, so what do you do? I mean, like for instance, you could, just off the top of my head, that's not something I'm doing, but you could find a motel maybe, and maybe it's in some place like Greenville, or the motel's green, or just something that you could think of that would go with that. Or you could do apparel for A that is green, right? So it's just kind of unique. And it's one of the fun things that we do for Christmas every single year. It's become a tradition in, between us two, and it's really fun. So one of the things I thought about doing is, finding a way for, us to have fun dates throughout the year that we both enjoyed. And then maybe getting a scrapbook so we could take pictures. We write little notes, vote on it. Was it good? Was it not good? And so let me share this with you and we'll read them. I will post this link in my permanent chats because this did come from just Googling it, basically. And I was amazed at some of the unique ideas that were part of this. All right. Hopefully everyone can see that. If not, that's why I'm reading them. All right. And I'll probably have to scroll down. But all right. So some of these are okay. And some of these I think are actually quite unique. So you have plan and carry out a scavenger hunt for your partner. Go tubing, kayaking, or canoeing together. Go fruit picking together. Oh, that one is I love to do with the apples. You guys have been using apples like crazy. Enjoy a candlelight dinner together at your home. Dress up though for it. Go for a bike ride together. Go bowling together. Attend a local festival together. Now that one is kind of interesting because even the local festivals that we had just recently, we were going to do that, but they were all Halloween based for children, and they, serving hot dogs. So it's not, our thing. So we'll have to find one that maybe more suits our thing. Go chalking. This I thought was interesting. Draw weird pictures or funny or encouraging messages on the sidewalk with chalk. This is great for a college campus. Now that's kind of a cute idea. Find somewhere you can feed the ducks together. Get back in touch with your inner child and finger paint together. Draw pictures or caricatures of each other. Plan a future date that you can go on with a strict budget of $5 or $10. Now that would be a challenge. We both highlighted that one because that would be a total challenge. Put together unusual outfits from a thrift store and go out well in character. We both chose that one too. I thought that is really funny because you could make that as crazy or as dressed up or as whatever you wanted to. I think we both love to laugh so much that we probably make that, a little bit more crazy and stay in character. So, I mean, it could be whatever, guys. That's really kind of tend to forget about this. And I wish they would do this more often, to attend a free class together at your local library, or your community centers have these too. I love hanging out with older people, and I am an older person, so that works out really good. I was looking at them. They have some amazing cheap classes that you can do, whether it's we have rainwater harvesting in one of our things. We have all kinds of painting ones. There's a knitting class that's going on. There's also a compost class that's going on. So they're pretty unique, everyone. You might want to look into that. Buy an expensive face painting kit and paint each other's faces. Enjoy a board game night. Try out new games. That's interesting. Board games. Attend a play or a musical event together. We do like that too. Or comedy, a comedy venue too. Comedians make you laugh. That's always really fun. I've also seen like these murder mystery events too. I don't know how much they are, but I have seen those out there. That might be fun. Plan and carry out a small fundraiser together for your cause. Prepare an unusual meal together. Visit an amusement park together. I like this one too, which we both highlighted. Visit a historic or beautiful cemetery together. And I was really surprised. Look up in your state how many historic things you got going on are really unique. What's one I did see in New York City is when I went down to see my great-grandfather's burial site, Alexander Hamilton. And it was really a beautiful cemetery. So that's a unique idea. Enjoy some active two-person games or sports together: tennis, racquetball, ping pong, croquet. By the way, that was my C last year for the game that I play with my husband. The C and the croquet, even the bag was green. And I know not all the handles and balls were green, but the bag it came in was green. It was outside, started with C. It's maybe a little bit of a stretch, but that was still really fun. And we do that. We do play croquet. Build a campfire together. Enjoy sitting and talking. Roast marshmallows or hot dogs. Play Guitar Hero or other interactive video games together. Well, we'd have to buy the video console because we don't really have that or little kids anymore, but that might be something fun. Visit an art museum together. Now, I'm always dragging my husband to that because as an artist, you guys, I am always at art museums, and they do have like free nights, and stuff like that. Or you never know, you might be, if I see something I really like, I might go out and purposely go to find that artist. I love go for a beautiful hike or a nature walk together. Explore a cave together. Now, I have seen this not only in the state I'm in, but also in Arizona. Look for your caverns, everyone. There are several out here, and you can go on like a cavern walking tour. I have shared pictures of that in my True Social or group of how beautiful these caverns are, and it's amazing. That's a really fun thing to do. Go hunting or fishing together. We like to fish, by the way. My husband does the hunting, not me per se. I'm too much of a baby with the animals. I can't see it and kill it, but I can fish. Isn't that funny? Visit an odd or unusual or quirky tourist attraction. By the way, it says check out Atlas Obscura for some really unique sites. I did do that, and that goes by your state too. So I highly suggest looking at this, called Atlas Obscura. And again, I'm going to post this link to these date ideas, this is highlighted. Excuse me. And you can go click on it and it takes you, and then you just load up your state and you'll be like really surprised. You might find the biggest ball of yarn, or you might find the whatever, just really unique stuff that's going on in your state. And it might be, not too far away from you. Visit the zoo together. I do like this idea. It says, what animal reminds you of yourself or your date? Go horseback riding together. I used to have some horses, so I've done that a lot. Visit an agritourism attraction, a pumpkin patch, corn maze. We have done that. Attend a talk or a lecture together. Now, this might be a book reading or a lecture together, but something that's fun, or discuss something or something you want to make a change about. Even go to something like that and see, bringing communities together. This might be a great way to meet other people in your community, especially if it's a like-minded topic. All right, here's one called Seed Bomb Together. This is about flowers, it says. I don't know so much about that, but I look into it. Build and fly a kite together. Go ice skating. Go stargazing. Sorry, I'm way past that, everybody. There we go. Attend a workshop at the local crafts or hardware store. Now, this makes me really sad. I did look up Home Depot and Lowe's, and they used to have free classes, and they might have free classes in your area. But since COVID, they've really shut them down and put them online now, where they're tutorials. But they used to have them where you could actually go to Home Depot and learn how to do stuff together. That was really unique and fun why they had them. Attend a wine tasting, coffee tasting, or other free tasting event together. Visit a factory, vineyard, or brewery. And I know there are a lot of microbreweries that will give you tours and let you do tastings. A lot of vineyards and wineries that do the same. Picnic together. Now, what's fun on this one is my husband and I might go golfing, and I might bring the picnic basket with us. And that's always fun to eat the picnic as we go golfing or go to a picnic afterwards. That's always fun. Go to a drive-in movie together. I don't know if your area has one. Those are kind of like on the outs, but you might be able to find one. I remember those are really fun. Visit a video arcade together. Go letterboxing or geocaching. Play old-fashioned playground games together. Play a game of paintball together. Visit a high ropes course or a zip line course together. Probably not. Play charades. Attend an author reading at a bookstore, right? Go support your local author, especially if it's a book that you enjoy. Visit a library together. It seems like that was on here twice. Oh, one was for classes. And pick out a book for each other. Okay. I would love this. Find a flea market, and not one that's just full of like soaps and Tides and whatever. I mean, like a flea market where people are literally from your community, selling stuff. I highly suggest that, or an antique store. A lot of times, like I said, that's where I find my boxes of doodads or ribbon or whatever, because it's just amazing, especially in like a thrift store too. We like to do that. Go bird watching, make popcorn or hot chocolate and work on a puzzle together. Make a craft together. Have a water balloon fight. Make pizza together. Visit open houses together and check out houses you'd probably never buy. That's kind of funny. Take a fancy car on a test drive. Give each other a foot soak, pedicure, and foot massage. Go miniature golfing together. Now that is something I was like, do we even have one in the area? And those are kind of on the outs too. So that's something I used to enjoy doing when we were in Arizona. Take a dance class together, play laser tag together, go roller skating, do karaoke together, take a cooking class. That one kind of cracks me up since my husband and I are both chefs. And I did that for so long. But you never know. There are some things I don't know, or I could hone in my skills on. So maybe the cooking classes on how to make sushi. I do love sushi, and I'm not really skilled at it very well, so that might be fun. Visit a farmer's market. You guys know I live by my farmer's markets. They're literally keeping me alive. Go yard selling together. It's been a long time since we've done that. This one I really love too. How often do we even take a trip to explore our next town over? Right? Go and find a town that, maybe a small town or whatever, but go exploring, get out of your city, go find, what else is going on in your state. My husband and I are both so surprised how many people in our state or in even our community have never even left the community. That just is really interesting to us. We're like, what? So go explore, everyone. Build a blanket fort and watch a movie in your PJs. Oops, let's get on to the last one. I'm making you sick. All right, go to a coffee shop and learn how to Zentangle. I to even start my school year off with Zentangle, and Zentangle is really awesome. It's where you're just kind of filling in shapes and designs, and you're making all kinds of different cross hatches and curlicues and whatever you want to do. But it's so relaxing, and it reduces stress so much. I highly encourage you guys just to learn about Zentangle, and I might include some links to that in my permanent chat, or maybe if you guys reach out, I'll teach you that on one of these Sundays. It's really so simple, but it's so relaxing, and it really does help reduce stress. Play Mad Libs together, take a DJing class together, check out your local historic sites together. Again, this what's it called? Atlas Obscura. They will also show you different historic sites in your state, and it's amazing how many that you can find that you probably didn't even know existed. Visit a botanical garden, go on a ghost tour, play pool, foosball, or darts, go-kart together, book a horse and carriage ride, go to a garden center together and pick out some plants or houseplants. Now we do that a lot. Volunteer at an animal shelter. Now that's probably not a good idea for me because I would always come home with an animal. My husband's probably like, no way. Surprise your mate. This is a very good one. Plan the total surprise date for your partner. I even said encourage you to send the invitation. Put it in the mail. Make a really unique adventure over it. Take over an empty playground. Attend a local sports event. Watch each other's favorite childhood movies. And enjoy childhood snacks while you do. Window shop together. Go eye bombing. together, which I don't know what it is. It says, "Don't worry, this is fun and harmless." I'll have to look that up. I thought this one was really funny too. Do a photo shoot together with ridiculous outfits and crazy poses. So if you go to that thrift store and you pick out those crazy clothes that you're going to be in character, that's another one you could put together. Do some kind of photo shoot of you guys in this character that you guys have created and have a little fun with that. Go to a trivia night together. Learn a new skill together. Make cupcakes and decorate them with weird candy. Browse a used bookstore together. I highly encourage your thrift stores for that too, or an antique store. You'll find some really old, unique books. Take an exercise class together and visit a rock climbing gym together are the last two. So these might not be all really unique. You might be like, okay, I haven't done that in a while. But the point is that we were able to find out of 100, we were able to find at least about 20, 24 that were unique or that we haven't done in a long time. And that's what I'm saying, you know. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this little journal together and where we'll take pictures and do different things to remind us of just the fun we had together. But there are some unique ones on here. Like I said, the one that's sticking out of my brain is when you go to the thrift store and you dress up, you find clothes, you dress up as a character. And then you go out in character, and then maybe you take the photo shoot together, you know, to remind you. And it could be like a formal wear. It could be funny. It could be whatever. I mean, it could be Mr. Magoo. I mean, whatever you guys want to do, have fun with it, right? Maybe it's. Let's see how shocking, to some extent, you know, you would look. You could look, and people would be like, "What?" I mean, put on 5 layers. I have no idea. Make it unique. Make it funny. Make it fun. And go out and do something together. But I hope this helps everyone. But I thought, how awesome would it be as a gift this year to do something, making some kind of couples date night book or make your own adventure challenge. And you can do that. You could make it a scrapbook. You could put in a notepad. You could do whatever. Just jazz it up, make it unique, and make a memory. Something else I do too is I have what's called a memory jar. And I've been doing this since the kids were little. It's better to have one for them, you know. And every time they would do something unique, how many times you're like, oh, I wish I had a camera for that, right? So I saw this, I mean, years ago, decades ago, right? And it was a jar, and they put out a Post-it note kind of thing next to it. So if your kids did something funny or said something funny, you go write it down the Post-it note and who said it, and you date it, and then you put it into the memory jar. My kids love this. They still love this to this day. And they'll pull out those memories and we'll just laugh, you know, of when they said something funny, you know, or when they did something funny. I have a daughter that had this, you know, certain I love food dance that she would do. I mean, it was crazy. I remember a time where my son, I don't know what was wrong with him. I've seen this before too. Maybe it's something about being 7. But I remember one day he was in a panic because he couldn't get out of the bathroom and he was yelling, "Help me, help me, help me." And so my husband went to go let him out and he's like, "Did you turn the knob?" And my son literally said to him, he goes, "Oh, I forgot about that." We just laughed so hard. He literally for a moment forgot you got to turn the knob. So we wrote those kind of things down, right? Or when they had moments with their grandparents or a unique event that we had. But we had this memory jar, and again, you just put Post-it notes by it and a pen. And I know you can always grab those by a phone. By the time you've done that phone, that moment's gone, you know, and so sometimes it's hard to get that. So it was really awesome to have the memory jar. So do some kind of version of that with your spouse, right? Whether you have a memory jar of your dates and what you felt like, or how was it a good one? Vote on it. Was that fun? Was it not fun? Would you do it again? Or do like an adventure book and give it out to your spouse as a gift. You know, make it unique. Hopefully we gave you guys some ideas that you like. They might be unique. Maybe come up with some of your own. But a lot of these I noticed too is the point is they're not super expensive. Most of these are very, very cheap, or you're going on a drive, you're going, you know, on an adventure. But that's kind of the whole point also, is that, you know, you're not having to spend hundreds of dollars to go out to some, you know, restaurant or motel or whatever, or movie. but have a unique adventure together. So I highly encourage you guys to do that. I hope you do. Let me know if you guys do that, or if you have any unique ideas, let me know. And I encourage you to do that. All right. It is about the time that we are. All right. I'm just checking my notes to make sure if I have forgotten anything. It's going to be a short night tonight. Again, we got to pray for people out there, everyone, because I've heard of a lot of deaths going on here. If it's one or another, as our guest last week, had his grandfather pass, my neighbors, having their patriarch, pass. It's out there, and we got to keep praying for each other, everyone. I highly encourage you to be a part of your communities. Get to know your community, get to know your neighbors. This I say so often, especially if you think you don't have anything in common. You do. There's a lot of things we do, especially when it comes to children or our faith or our community, our freedoms. I mean, you don't have to go there and be like talk political per se. Maybe you're on completely different sides, but there's a lot of common ground you have, especially when it comes to family and children, right? And get to know each other. And it's just like I said, it's one of the greatest things I enjoy, especially having beautiful neighbors. And I don't know if we agree on everything, but I do know we both love our families very, very much. And that is definitely a common bond. Go in and see what your community's up to. And if they don't have something that you'd like to do, start something. Our libraries are great avenues for you to hold a class. Your community centers are another way you could hold a class and teach something yourself. That might be something fun for you and your spouse to do, is to start a class somewhere, and get to know other people, like-minded people, hold an event together. Maybe you do your own wine and paint class, or your own book club, or your own rain harvesting or compost or whatever. But there's a million things that you could be doing in your community to get to know each other, and knowing that you're not alone. You're definitely not alone. We are coming on a season of gratefulness and thankfulness. So make sure that you are being thankful for the people that are in your life, showing them that you are grateful. And that's, I know, is going to be on my heart. I'm very grateful for you guys that watch and are part of my little community, my social community. I love and I'm very thankful that you guys even just share my posts, share my episodes. It means the world to me when you guys follow and share these things. Not only for me, just trying to be out here on doing a podcast, but it's also for my guests, because they're trying to start a business just like I tried to start, and I started a school, a nationwide school, because our children needed help. They still need help. You say that it's not in your community, and every time I turn around, it's in small town here, places that you wouldn't even realize. I'm reading stories about Florida had it together. No, they still don't have it together. And this is going to be because laws need to be changed, and that doesn't happen overnight. So you got to keep going on, keep, making those changes, making those voices. But the best thing we can do is leave a better world for our youth and create a world that we want to live in, right? Making sure we still have those freedoms, making sure we still have those abilities. And it really does start with understanding that we're not alone, right? Not only do not have the wonderful creator with us at all times, the Savior with us at all times, right? But we also have each other. They like to make us be divided. They might like us to think that we're alone, but we're not. So join those groups, guys. Join those community things. Talk to each other. And it's always my pleasure to be here to show you and give you something a little bit different in a world that tells you to get up and do something, but doesn't highlight the people that are. So if you want to be a guest on my show, you got something that you'd like to share the world, a business, you're an artist, you're an author, and so forth, I would love to hear from you. Please reach out to me. Again, you can find me on Truth at Lady Hamilton Art. Facebook, believe it or not, like I said, don't go there. So please don't use that as your avenue. Truth Social is probably the number one for me, and that's Lady Hamilton Art. Twitter being number 2 at Lady Hamilton AR1. And again, you can put something in the permanent chats below our show links as well. I do read those and get notified on those. And I did read a message last week when I was talking about apple cider vinegar and how that really helps with cholesterol. I love my doctor. I love that he knows I'm so a naturopath. Instead of giving me medicines, I found a new doctor that my husband used to work with during this nonsense of vaccine madness. And he knows, don't even come back with me with a pill if there's another way around it. So he said, I don't really like your cholesterol. I'd like to get that down a little bit. But again, I eat a high protein diet, guys, and I eat, local dairy that makes local butter. And I mean, right, I'm not a fat-free kind of person, although since I have been on this wonderful organic local diet, I have not only the inflammation gone down, I think in the last year or so, I've lost almost 50 pounds. I mean, it's crazy, but he's worried about my cholesterol. I'm being a little too high. So he came back and he said, I want you to take a couple of tablespoons of apple cider vinegar a day. And I was like, okay. And I know that that works for a lot of things because I've done that for my dogs when they've had certain infections or urinary tract infections, right? That and honey and cranberries, I swear to you, saved my dog's life. And that was, I guess, a few months back. I made her a concoction with the turmeric honey. And I just boiled some cranberries and I threw in some apple cider vinegar and I fed it to her like a medicine, and that was cleared up in a matter of days. Even though I had her still eat it for a few weeks, it was unbelievable. So I was not surprised. Just kind of surprised it also did cholesterol. And one of you guys reached out going, I don't know if I can handle the taste. It is hard. I'll tell you straight up, because you put that vinegar up to your nose. The first thing you want to do is like sneeze. It's overwhelming, right? But I feel like I'm doing shots. I pour a little ounce of the apple cider vinegar, and then I pour myself a little glass of orange juice, and I do it that way. I take the apple cider vinegar, choke it down, and then I do the orange juice. And the reason I'm telling you that is the orange juice cuts the acidity and the flavor of the apple cider vinegar really, really well. So it's not stuck in your mouth, that flavor. And so far, so good. I will find out in a few more weeks if that has helped at all. And again, it's not too high, but you just wanted to make sure it was kept under check. And I've heard so many great things about apple cider vinegar as well. And not only with it doing with cholesterol, but with weight loss and with inflammation and urinary issues, obviously. So they put it in my permanent chat. I don't know if I can do it. I'm like, I encourage you to do it if you have that kind of conditions, right? It's really good for your health. And so is honey. So it's another thing I recommend too. A tablespoon of honey or a teaspoon of honey, goes a long way, everybody. So try to, and I'm not your doctor. I'm not trying to recommend, you go off your medications, but try it and see how well it does, right? And then let your doctor go, well, how in the world did this get down? Well, I've included this and this. What do you think, right? And see if they can suggest other things like that for you. So our guest will be here next Friday as, she's battling her own things. And she's another wonderful artist. Thank you to Len for introducing me to her, as he was one of our artists that was on a few weeks ago. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And we will see her next Friday at 7 p.m. Sunday, we're going to carry on with our gift making. So I'll be doing a few of those. I have to look tomorrow to see which ones I'm going to do and what I have the supplies for. But I'll be working on a couple more gifts for you. As we did cookie jars and apron making last week, we've done cider. We're going to continue doing that as I show you, and we try to learn how to do these things together and make gifts for each other. I'm a big fan of custom-made gifts. They just mean the world to me. I love it that my kids always think of that first, and quite unique. My daughter has pulled out the sewing machine, so I'm like, all right. As for my birthday, she hand-stitched an apron for me and put decals on it and stuff like that. Well, she's like, oh, forget this. I'm getting out the little mini sewing machine that I bought for the family just maybe something she'll take with her to college, right? I saw so many of these little mini sewing machines. Not a lot, but I saw a few of these sewing machines around campuses, and it's like, especially when I was living in the graduate dorms, I was like, that's a really unique trade to have. Something that I actually am even teaching in our school for Adulting 101, so they have the basic knowledge of how to fix something or hem something, instead of just throwing it away, right? And so we did auto mechanics. Now we're on household things. So she's learned budget and grocery shopping, or not her, but the high schoolers have learned budget and grocery shopping and checking accounts and managing their money. Now they're learning a little bit about sewing and cooking and plumbing and stuff is their next thing. So I'm excited to see what she's going to be making, not only me and her dad, but also her brother and sisters, right? And what is she going to create for them? But I love that her first thought is, I want to make something. So we'll see you guys on Sunday at 12 p.m. And I hope you guys can join me then. Same channels. But before you guys go, if you could please hit the like, the follow, and make sure to share this out. And if you have it in your heart, subscribe. It really helps us out, and I appreciate that. A huge thank you to you for watching me tonight. I hope you guys found some unique ideas, and then come back to the permanent chats as I have those links for you. Let me play those, and I don't know why it won't let me play my own videos, but I guess it is what it is. And at least I was able to show you who they are and the work they've created. So get creative, everyone. You can do it. And if I can inspire you to do it, you can do it. And if it's not perfect, it's okay. But it's a lot of fun when you create, right? It definitely takes some stress away. It puts you in a different world. It helps you just kind of find a better place to be, especially when the world's so crazy, right? My prayers are with you every single day. And I am truly grateful for each and every one of you. I'm going to put our song, everybody say a prayer, that YouTube lets us play this as we're going out. I make sure that it doesn't come like it's, but right, I can already see it's giving me some hesitations, but I'm just so thrilled everybody joined me tonight, and I'll see you Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everyone have a great night. Thank you for joining me.
For the stars in the sky, birds that flutter and fly, I am thankful, thankful for the leaves on the trees, how they dance in the breeze. I am thankful, thankful with an attitude of gratitude for blessings big and small. I'll show gratefulness and thankfulness as I praise the Lord of all. Hallelujah, hallelujah, I am thankful. For the bright shining light of the Lord Jesus Christ, I am thankful, thankful for the life that He lived and the love that He gives. I am thankful, thankful with an attitude of gratitude for blessings big and small. I'll show gratefulness and thankfulness as I praise the Lord of all. Hallelujah, hallelujah, I am thankful. I feel gladness. and small. I'll show gratefulness